The Y'all Show is at the beach. Welcome into the All Southern program. I'm Jon Rawl. We are good to be back with you. We've, for our radio affiliates, kind of been at the beach, but not working the last few days. But now we are at the beach. We're in Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm Jon Rawl. I am joined by an old friend, Georgia Turner. She lives here. She works here. And the reason, Georgia, that we are in Daytona Beach, it is the Southeast Tourism Society's annual conference, and Georgia is with West Volusia, and she's the executive director of the tourism department of Volusia County here in Florida. So thank you for the Southern hospitality.
Well, we're so excited about you being here. This is a huge deal for Daytona Beach to have the Southeast Tourism Society here. I say that we're bringing in 300 of our closest friends, and I mean that because I've been in this organization since 1985. I'm former chair of the organization, and it's just getting to be, I'm one of the old people. John, how did that happen?
Well, nothing wrong with that. You're just seasoned.
I'm a seasoned tourism professional.
Yes, but Georgia's been involved in Southeast tourism for a long time, both the organization, but just in the business of tourism, and that's why we're here. Right. Here on the Y'all Show, we do talk about tourism. We talk about going to vacations throughout the Southland, and on this program today, we're going to introduce people like Georgia, but throughout the next few days here on the program, we're going to go find a few of these tourism professionals who come from all over the entire South and get you to learn more about our wonderful region that this is the South. This is Y'all, where we do talk about tourism, but we also talk a little sports. And by the way, Georgia, I know you've got something that you want to get off your chest here on the Y'all Show.
War Eagle.
She is an Albie and Auburn, your 2019 SEC basketball tournament champions.
Yay!
Did you see the game?
I did not.
Oh, come on.
About 10 people. No, I was actually at a yoga retreat just south of here, and about 10 people texted me when I wasn't supposed to be on the phone or doing anything. But you're
going to love this, Georgia. I decided to drive to Daytona Beach this week. And about the time Auburn captured that championship, do you know where I was?
I have no idea, John.
I was in Opelika, Alabama.
Oh, Warrigal.
And I thought about going down College Avenue because I got to that split in the road on, was it 280?
Yeah.
And I thought about going into the town to see if they were rolling Toomer's Corner.
I'm sure they did, and I'm sure they were going nuts.
But then I realized that maybe basketball is not a big deal on the plains.
Oh, no, it's a pretty big deal. I went to school back in the 80s with Charles Barkley.
Sir Charles.
Yeah, so that's one of my claim to fame. I met him and loved him.
And all the other great players from the time period. And Sonny, what's his last name? The basketball coach?
Oh.
Well, he's doing the play-by-play, which I have to critique him. He is a homer when it comes to Auburn basketball.
Well,
he talks like he's part of the team still.
Anything's wrong with that.
And every time there's a foul or not called, boy, he's quick to point out that there should have been a foul call. But hey, when you're the SEC tournament champions as Auburn is, then War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War damn Eagle.
That's right.
We can say it right here on the Y'all Show.
That's right.
Well, coming up on today's Y'all Show, it is Wednesday. We're going to do an abbreviated country music report since I'm kind of doing the tourism thing here. I'm not going to go to Music Row and get Precious on this week, but we do have some country music news. You like country music?
I love country music.
Now, this lady here, or should I say Southern girl, she's got some music in her blood. She is a native of the Muscle Shoals area, a place that we were just in the other day as we both crossed the Tennessee. We were on the south side and the north side in Florence and in Sheffield and Muscle Shoals. And did you record while you were growing up in Muscle Shoals?
I did not, but I always thought it was an urban legend that the Rolling Stones had been there, but it really was true. So that's kind of cool that the Rolling Stones, Aretha Franklin, even the Osmonds. I mean, that was a big deal when I was young. The Osmonds found their place in the world there, so that was kind of cool. But
well, I love the story about when the Rolling Stones came to the Shoals to record. They went to a local diner there. And, of course, back in the 1960s, they had long hair like a lot of people did. But a lot of people in Muscle Shoals, they didn't have the hippie look going on. And so when they were at the diner having a meal, the waitress came up to them and said, "You boys studying at the college?" I guess thinking they were at UNA. And no, they were studying on making a great record, which I should know the name of that album. Do you?
Sticky Fingers, but it was part of it. It was Brown Sugar was recorded there, and Wild Horses. So yeah, I'm really, really proud of that Alabama tourism and music heritage.
And when I was passing through on Thursday of last week, I stopped by the Alabama Music Hall of Fame. That's a great attraction there in North Alabama. And of course, Georgia, if you don't know, she, prior to coming to West Volusia, she was the executive director in Florence, Lauderdale County in Alabama.
I was the PR director.
Oh, okay.
But that's
what you
okay.
were.
I don't know. I was the PR director.
You should have been the executive
well,
director.
thank you very much. I was the PR director, and I brought people in from all over the world to hear about Muscle Shoals, so that was exciting.
And we had some great connections in the old days with Y'all magazine there in Florence, and I don't know if you were involved, but one time we
went. Sweet tea.
Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you about.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to revive that here at the STS. I want to have a bunch of people come up and say, hey, we'd like to have the Sweet Tea Challenge come to our community.
I would like to judge that.
Well, we don't mind. We have a great time doing that. It's a win-win-win. It really is for the general public, for the tourism people, and for y'all. So we're hoping to bring that back in a big way. Cool. We're going to talk about tourism. Let's first hear, Georgia, with you. First talk about what STS is, and then we'll visit with you about West Volusia here in the great state of Florida. What is STS, and how does it help out the general public?
Well, STS is a professional organization for people who are in the tourism industry. There's 4 pillars that we all adhere to. One of them's education, advocacy. I'm not going to be able to remember them all, but basically this is a great way for all of us to get together to find out best practices of what's going on in the Southeast and how we can all do our jobs better. And as well as letting our legislators know what's going on. Educating, Marketing College is one of the best things going. A summertime event up in Dahlonega, Georgia, where you can go and get a 3-year certification to become a travel marketing professional. And I just did that recently. After all these years, I was able to become a TMP.
Oh, I thought you were like one of the
I taught at Marketing College for many years, but then when I was in Florence and then came down here, I was able to do it. So it's exciting.
Well, again, the general public benefits from the Southeast Tourism Society. Here on the Y'all Show, each week we try to do what we call Festive South, where we mention some great events going on across the Southeast. And Georgia, here's a little insider tip to our audience. Most of those events that I steal from the World Wide Web come from the STS Top 20 Events calendar, as they have the listing every month of all the cool festivals going on across the Southeast. And so those are not the only festivals that I bring in, but here in the South, we do have a very cool place for people to go, and we have some great events. In fact, I don't have the details. Maybe you know, Georgia, but on my way down here this week, somewhere in South Georgia in the coming days, they have a fire ant festival.
Oh, no, I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
I've heard mosquito festivals, and I've heard of all these different peach festivals and such. Of course, in Florence, your old stomping grounds, y'all are the home of the WC Handy. Is it Blues Festival?
It's really just WC Handy Music Festival now.
Festival, okay. That's kind of in the late summer, so we featured that last year on the show.
Well, we just went through Bike Week here in Daytona Beach.
I heard about that.
In Volusia County, and it was fantastic. We had about 400,000 bikers within a 10-day period. Yeah, so that's a really cool thing for us.
Now, tell me about Florida law when it comes to biking. Do you have to wear a helmet?
You don't have to wear a helmet, but a lot of people do.
Okay,
a lot of people do, but no, it's that's really something to see. It's just in DeLand, where my office is, we had 40,000 people in one day in downtown. So that brings a lot of business into Volusia County.
I know in Myrtle Beach they have these similar bike weeks, and a lot of times the locals leave town during bike week because it's just too hard to maneuver. Is that the case here?
Well, it's a little bit of both. I think that people are, excited when they come here just because it does make the cash registers ring. So that's a big deal for us.
Well, it's a lovely place. By the way, we are here at, what is the exact term of this hotel? We're at the Hilton.
We're at the Hilton Daytona Beach Oceanfront.
Okay.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I wish everybody could see this beautiful beach right behind us.
Yeah, it is beautiful. We've got a little overcast day today.
23 miles of beach in our area.
But unfortunately, most of the South is not able to go live on a beach at all times. No. And so we have to live in.
Even a cloudy day on the beach is a perfect day.
That is the truth, Georgia. We're visiting with Georgia Turner. She is the executive director of West Volusia, Old Florida, New Vibe, and she's also very involved with tourism throughout the entire South. But at the West Volusia Tourism Advertising Authority, you'll find Georgia working in DeLand, Florida, home of the Stetson Hatters.
Yay! We love the Stetson Hatters. I think there's like 32, 36 different sports right now. Beach volleyball, great at baseball, great at basketball, great at
let's
everything.
Single out baseball. I know Stetson last year hosted a regional. They were one of the best teams in college baseball last year.
We did.
Hopefully they are
We're
doing good
pretty
this year.
well this year. Pretty well. So far, so good.
Are they in the Atlantic Sun? Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, a Sun.
Also the home of the UNA Lions.
Yay!
So Yes, okay. So you're here in this area, so it's a pretty easy conference for you to attend.
Yeah, this is
You better
fantastic.
be glad you're here.
I actually live in Ormond Beach, and I work in DeLand, so that's I'm east side and west side of the
All right,
county.
let's learn more about Volusia County, and you're actually with West Volusia
Right.
Tourism. So what is the difference?
I'm the western part. Okay, we are kind of an interesting county in that we have 3 tourism entities here.
Okay.
We have 3 different advertising authorities, is what we call them here. Daytona Beach is the Halifax Area Advertising Authority. New Smyrna Beach is which is also a gorgeous area that I haven't talked about yet, is the Southeast Volusia Advertising Authority. And then my area is the smaller of the 3, or the smallest of the 3, but we have 14 communities, including DeLand, Orange City, DeLeon Springs, some of the places that people know because it's where all the manatees are. It's where you can cook pancakes right in the middle of your table at DeLeon Springs. It's Daytona, as you said, the biggest city in the county, which is unusual.
I want to make sure people know this. In my boredom at the hotel room last evening, I like to know where the heck I am, and so I looked up Volusia County.
So look, you found out all kinds of things, didn't you?
The biggest,
DeLand's the county seat.
The biggest town in this county is Deltona.
Right.
Not Daytona. You didn't hear me wrong. It's Deltona. It's got nearly 100,000 residents.
Right.
And that one town that a lot of people in the South probably have never heard of. They think, man, that Jon Rawl can't talk. He didn't say Daytona. I said Deltona.
It just became a trail town, a designation by the Office of Greenways and Trails. I mean, it is an amazing, amazing area, what we've got over there. It's just a really, really pretty part of the world.
Yeah, and of course you got, what is it, Interstate 4?
We do. Interstate 4 that goes right through.
Does it connect Daytona Beach down to Tampa? Is that what it does?
Yes.
But does it go through Orlando too?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't want to do that right this minute. It's
no. I don't
might want to find another way.
But this is in many ways a good paradise. You're right here on the Atlantic side of Florida, but you're not far from the Gulf side. And I know recently here we spotlighted Clearwater Beach, which was named the #1 beach in the entire country.
Which is gorgeous.
Gorgeous place. And so Florida is a very pro-tourist state.
It is.
What a statement there from me.
We spend about $76 million to promote tourism here, and that is just amazing. We tell people that and they can't believe it, but it's so well worth it because it brings back billions and billions and billions of dollars into our economy, as you can probably imagine.
Well, it's of course a wonderful time. We're here in March, so I know it's probably more tourists here in other times of the year. Mm-hmm. However, there's spring break going on, and I think I got a couple of spring breakers in the hotel room next to me.
It's really interesting because we call this family spring break, beach family spring break, and there's a lot of folks, everything from the traditional student on up through multi-generational, and just and the bikers, throw the bikers in there for a couple of weeks. So it's an interesting time of year for us.
Well, we're having an interesting time here. We're at the Southeast Tourism. I cannot speak here. I've had a late night. Southeast Tourism Society's annual convention. They used to do this twice a year. Now they have trimmed it back to one big blowout. And we're in Daytona Beach, Florida for this year's summit. This is probably, how many times do you think they've done this?
Wow.
STS?
STS has been in existence since 1983.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're talking a long time. I've been involved in since 1985. So
wow.
It's been a huge part of my life and a great part of my life.
We have a seasoned Georgia Turner here talking with us on the Y'all Show. And, of course, she's known throughout many southern states with her presence in the tourism, the business of tourism. Yes, there is a business of the world tourism. Tourism in some of our southern states is the #1 industry.
Right, without a doubt here.
And in Florida, that's one of them.
It goes without saying, I guess.
Yeah, and we want to make it #1 in all of our southern states.
That's right.
It's a big business for a lot of states. Of course, those that have the beach involved, it's a kind of an unfair advantage to those who don't have that, like Arkansas. But hey, Arkansas gets a lot of tourism. Tennessee gets a lot of tourism. And we are just pro-tourism here on the Y'all Show. And we're also pro-Festive South with our events and things like that. So, Georgia, when we come to Volusia County, is this an affordable option?
Oh, it definitely is. It always has been, and a lot of people come back year after year after year. And what I love about this area the most is we've got a wide variety of accommodations. We've got the big ones like what we're staying in here. We just got a Hard Rock hotel within the last year, a little bit north of here.
Okay.
So we've gotten that. You can stay in bed and breakfast. You can stay in a little cottage. You can stay wherever you want to, really. Our area in DeLand just got a brand new Courtyard by Marriott in downtown to where you can walk around downtown and enjoy the downtown area. So we've got state parks where you can camp. Blue Spring is my biggest state park that has where the manatees come in. We had a record number of 555 manatees in the spring at one time, but they've got wonderful, just camping. I mean, there's a lot of different affordable options here.
Yeah, so, and you also have history here, and I was looking up in my boredom last night. You have the history of the town of DeLand. It was not originally called DeLand.
No, it was called Persimmon Hollow, and I bet you looked because you looked at where the brewery was, because we have
what are you talking about?
A new brewery called Persimmon Hollow. Not a little bit older brewery, but so it was Persimmon Hollow.
And do you know why it changed its name?
I don't know if I do.
Well, Mr. DeLand, who I forgot how he made his money.
He was I do know that he was in baking soda.
That's
he was a
right.
Baking soda magnate up in New York.
Yes, he's one of them damn Yankees. And he came down here and got them to change the name of the town after him. Right. And then he was friends with the Stetson hat maker guy.
Right.
And he got him to donate, I think, $1 million to rename or to change the college here, which was not Stetson, to something else. How am I doing
it was
on
DeLand, it was DeLand Academy, but I got to tell you something really interesting is that when people came down from New York, he guaranteed that they would make money
off of oranges.
On the oranges, and they had a really deep freeze, and everybody lost everything, and he spent the rest of his life paying everybody back for all that, because he had given him 100% guarantee. So he called upon all of his affluent friends like John B. Stetson, and John B. helped him.
Okay. Now, how much agriculture goes on in this county now?
A lot.
Really?
A lot. My area, we have Pearson and Seville that are called the fern capital of the world. There's a chance that when you get a flower arrangement in anywhere in the southeast and sometimes throughout the country, that part of that flower arrangement is going to be ferns from West Volusia County, Florida.
Ferns and fun here.
Ferns and fun. That's what we got
in Volusia County, Florida. Now, for the folks listening outside of Florida who have heard of this county, and we've
don't know where it is.
Well, we just rattle off a few of these communities, but how do you best describe where you're located in the Sunshine State?
Well, where I say we're located is in between the Space Coast and St. Augustine. The beachfront is in between the Space Coast, where it's very easy to get to the Space Center, and it's also very easy to get to St. Augustine. But then my area is between Daytona Beach and Orlando.
Okay.
So we're only 30 minutes from Daytona Beach and 30 minutes from Orlando.
Man.
So that's why our state parks are so popular. That's why a lot of people come over to see the manatees. A lot of people come to do everything because of how convenient it is.
Now, Georgia, you are volunteering right here on the Y'all Show to host me and my son when we come down and come to Disney World.
You can come. Right? You better come cook pancakes with me.
Now, that doesn't help you out with your job. You want people to stay at hotel rooms.
No, I want you to. No, I have one bathroom at my house, so nobody can stay there. But no, we've got plenty of hotel rooms. We have 1,200 hotel rooms. Just to give you an idea of the size of us, we have 1,200 hotel rooms, and Daytona has 12,000 hotel rooms. So we're the smaller community, but we've got all the cool stuff.
Y'all need to get a beach there.
Well, we've got two beaches right beside us, New Smyrna, two of the most wonderful beaches in the state, right 30 minutes away.
Now, what's the deal here? When you come to Daytona, of course, they're not just about the beach and conventions. Right. They have a little race here twice a year. Yeah,
just a little one, the Daytona Speedway. But you'd be surprised, John, at how often our Speedway is used. It's really, within the last couple of years, they've done a major renovation on it. And it's a big place for meetings and conventions now. We'll be touring the Speedway while we're here, and
tonight.
Really and it's more not as much a tour because there's a big car show that's going on this weekend, and we just had Bike Week, but we'll be in one of the VIP suites doing a lot of fun things tonight. I'm
looking forward to it. My first time to Daytona. Unfortunately, there's not a race going on, but
no, it's still we'll have a video of the race for you to get the idea.
Now I'm a little jealous because Georgia, you're an Alabama girl. I have actually raced in my Jeep Cherokee. I have raced around Talladega Speedway once in my life.
That's cool. I like it. You say Talladega like I do.
Yeah, well, that's how they say
Talladega.
it. Yeah, the locals there in Talladega County call it Talladega.
Talladega. That's
and
right.
I have some time. I've got a notch in Alabama. I've lived in Alabama for a while and worked around Anniston and Oxford, Alabama, and also there in Lincoln, Alabama, where the racetrack is close to. But yes, I didn't go very fast in my Jeep Cherokee, but I have raced at Talladega and I've sang on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry. How about that?
You are my hero.
Now,
John.
Nobody in the audience was there. I happened to work backstage for a while at the Grand Ole Opry House, but I don't know. I guess Go to the Moon, that's something y'all can help me with here in Florida, right?
Yeah, you definitely could.
If I can just go to that moon, I think I've checked all the things.
Well,
what do you want to do? What's your one goal you still haven't met?
At some point, I want to spend some time in Hawaii and learn all of the...
I have just the connection for you.
I have been to Hawaii 6 times in my life, and I want to go learn as much as I can and then bring it back to our destination here because I love the hospitality. I love that aloha spirit and that kind of thing.
Aloha hospitality.
Yeah, so I want to go and live it for a little while, but then I'm going to bring it. I'm going to find out all about what they do over there and bring it back
Well, our
over here.
mutual friend Keith Sisson, who's been a big part of y'all.com, Y'all Magazine, he and his company have just bought an airline there in Hawaii, and you can go see Keith. He lives in, get this, folks, Keith. Hello, Keith.
Hi,
Keith lives in Hawaii, and when I say
didn't know that.
he lives in Hawaii 6 weeks, and then he goes to Biloxi for 2 weeks.
Well, I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but someone had once told me that if I had a son, he would be my son. So I always call him my son. So.
Well, Keith is doing well with Southern Airways, and he's also involved here with y'all.com. And can't get him much, especially when he's in Hawaii. But they just registered with his airline, the website Aloha Y'all.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know what's on there, but you can go to AlohaYall.com and Keith will give you the hookup because, hey, they fly about 80 flights a day out of Hawaii to all 5 islands on his airline. And I bet you might get a friends and family discount.
I remember, that's the good son to have, isn't it?
I think so. Instead of him benefiting from you, maybe you could benefit from him.
That'd be awesome.
Georgia Turner has been our very special guest with the West Volusia Tourism Advertising Authority. You can find her in DeLand, Florida, and of course their motto at West Volusia, Old Florida, New vibe. And she is the executive director and a tourism marketing professional, and she's been our very special guest to help us kick off the Southeast Tourism Society's annual conference here in Daytona Beach, Florida. And we're going to bring in a lot more tourism professionals over the next couple of days as we broadcast from this annual event. And we're going to talk about other things here on today's Y'all Show, including those Auburn Tigers off to the NCAA tournament.
War Eagle.
How's Auburn going to do on the football field this year?
Oh, we're going to be fantastic. We're going to beat Alabama just like we say we are every year.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Good luck with that, and good luck with West Volusia.
Thank you so much, John. Good to have you back.
More of the Y'all Show will continue after this break. Don't go anywhere, y'all.